Hi everyone. In this lecture, we'll go over what options are available under Object menu, and we'll start with the switch option particularly. So when you go over switch, you have an option where you can just make a switch, or you can pick from either of these switch options. A bit switch basically means you can use a bit to switch, and then a word would be an int, double int, or something like that that you want to switch, and uh, go to screen is more like a navigation push button. Station number is you can change the station number of your GOT so it can talk to something else, or change the station number of your PLC so it can switch and talk to another PLC if you want. Special function, this is where you can go to utilities and create a exit application kind of function. There are a few other options in here. We'll go over that in detail, but let's start with the bit switch, and we'll use the other ones as we go. So we select it and we drop something here. We'll name it as a bit switch. So I'll go to the text. Okay, so here as you can see there are different options. When you open up, you have device, style, text, extended, and trigger. Now extended and trigger for most part for like lamp switch, numeric, and all those stuff would stay the same. They may have one or two more options as depending on what they are, but this particular tab or these tabs would stay the same for the most part. Now here as you can see, we can put an M0 as our first bit here. Then you can have an option where to do a momentary, alternate, set, or reset. And as far as the lamp goes, you can make the lamp to follow the key. Like if you press the button, the lamp would light up. Or you can make it follow the bit. So if you do that, see how it defaults to this. So you don't really have to keep that. You can make it something else per se. You can make it like an M10. Or you can use a word range and do you can do an equal to. You can use a deregister for that per se, or it could be a real, or basically there are these options available here. And then you can have expression, where right now we have it set up anything between these two numbers, the lamp would be on. So you can make it where, let's say B is a none, and you can make that equal. So that means as long as D0 is equal to this, it would be on. So you have a bunch of options for this. Also, if you see down here, convert to lamp. So if you use that, it would basically convert this into a lamp. So I won't do that because I want to show what the bit switch is. Once we are towards the end of the lamps, I'll go and convert one of them and see what it looks like. Now, if we go to the style tab, here you have what kind of shape you want and what do you want with the shape. So since it's a bit switch, you only have on and off. And as you can see, off, the color is blue. You have different options. When you go to on, you can pick a different color, or it can be the same color. You can make it blink. And on the blink, you have two options, whether you just want the shape to blink, so it would blink between these two colors, or you can do the shape and text to blink, so it would blink both. And if you click on this little shape thing, this opens up a image list box. And if you go, I mean, there are some modern switches here, so if I keep on going, we'll come across something that we like, and we'll try and use that. Okay, let's try and use, these are not real good for the text, so I'll use this one for the on and this one for the off. So that's how you select your on off. You click here, pick what you want. So it doesn't have to be the same kind either. So there we go. There we have it. It's set for on and off. Now if I go to text, this is where you have different options for the text. You can force a text, or you can use it like a comment. Now this comment thing would be helpful if you're trying to do like a multi-language HMI. You would put it to comment and make it point to let's say a default group number, or it could be a device number if you leave it to default. So if you remember, we made the first comment list with 3 of these in there, so it's going to point to that. So if you had if you switch the language, it's going to show the column number 2 from this comment list. See how you have different columns here? So it would show you the next column, which would have the second language and the third language and so on and so forth. You can do like a multi-language HMI using this feature. So we'll leave it, and then down here you have a couple of text settings. It's pretty, I mean, it's self-explanatory at this point. So let's go back to text, and in the text, see if you see when we go put it back to text, you have an option where you can display text in different spots. So if you can see in the background, right now it's shown in the center. So if I click on down and type in down, it would basically show up under the button. Then you do the left, it would do the same thing. It would show up on the left side of it, and on the right, and in the up is up. And the offset and line space, it's basically giving you space if you have multi-line text. So let's say if we go back to the center, and then screen 2 and screen 3. So if I do that and add more line spacing of 5, so they're spaced out more. So I mean, that's what you would use for the line spacing option for. Let's go to the extended tab now. Here you have security level option. So what this is telling you is, as long as the security level is 0 or above, it's gonna show because it's on the display. And then on the input, if you have 0, it's gonna make sure it's 0 or above. But it's always gonna look for the number, or above the number it's gonna show. So now if you put it to 1 and nobody's logged in, it's gonna hide that button for you. And same thing on the input, you could have this at 1 and this at 2. What that would do is it would show to anybody above 1 or above 1, and input would be, it would let anybody input who has login credentials of 2 or above 2. Now this use offset, what this one would do is, so here we'll do I'm gonna put D10 for the offset. So yep, I gotta do that. Put a D10, and you have an offset for the lamp. You can keep the same ones. So here what it would do is this M0 bit that we have up here, I'm gonna make this back to the bit M0 so we can relate it easier. So now if you see, both of them are M0, and when I go to extended, and D10 is the next register. So what it would do is, if you put in like a 5, let's say in D10 from the PLC side, this switch would then become M5 for switch and lamp action. So it's similar to like the Z indexers in the PLC program that we went over in GXWorks 3 class. This is more or less like an offset register. So you could put a number and change things. So it's really helpful when you have, like, let's say 5 drives and you're trying to create 5 manual screens for it. If you program your PLC such that all the memory is grouped together for each drive, you create one drive and use an offset register. I like to use an offset from the HMI. So like a GD memory is what I would use for it. So if I go back to this, use a GD for that. So what this would do is, you can, if you are on screen 1, you can run a script to change the offset. So let's say if you're on screen 1, you put a 0 in GD10. So it's going to look for M0 and M0 for per se. Then on screen 2, you can make it look for M10, or put a 10 in GD10. So that would look at M10. Screen 3, you would make GD10 as 20, and it would look at M20 here. So that's how it's used. Now this user ID thing, what this is when you come on the screen, it would highlight this to be your first. If you have it enabled, it's going to highlight the first one here, or this would be the first one on the screen when you're trying to input something. I leave it unchecked. Now the simultaneous press, it can look for on or off priority. I don't usually leave that checked. I leave it off. Delay, I would use it sometimes where if you want like an on delay, so somebody has to hold it for 3 seconds or 2 seconds to do something, so it's not really like a mistake or a fluke that they touched something by mistake and you did something on the equipment. So, and it's got timer options. You can have timers here. So then press twice. I mean, you press it twice. There will be like a cycle thing, how soon you want to press and all that. So then the buzzer. I mean, you would buzz every time or only if the conditions are met. What this means is if the input's not, if somebody's not logged in, it's not gonna give the buzzer. So I usually don't change these too much. Leave that to this Japan on the kanji region, and yeah. Now there's an option where you have two different layers, and you can make it to a category. So if this is a lamp, make it a lamp category. So, and you can put it on the front or the back layer. So, and then now we go to the trigger side. This is where you can hide this thing altogether. We're not using like a security level, but you can use a mbit for that. So if it's on or off. So what this would tell you is if I had M100 here, so if M100 is on, it's gonna show, or if it's off, it's gonna show. So that's how you would use the control display. And the trigger type, this is to lock the feature per se if you don't want them to start the drive if the machine's not in manual. So if I put an on, put an M10 per se. So what this would do is as long as M10 is on, they can press this push button. If it's not on, they cannot. I mean, it won't let it press, so you won't have any acknowledgement back from it. And you can do like a repeat. So as if it's pressed, you can keep on triggering the same thing over and over. So yes, you can have like a pulse thing going out from the push button. So yeah, that's what you got as far as the options under a bit switch. Now we'll okay this. We'll go over put a word switch. As the name says, it's a word switch. I'm going to go back and name this we'll call it a bit switch. Okay. All right. Now this thing, if you see, it's a little different as far as the switch action goes, but the rest of the tabs are the same. So we may not go over it because they are identical to it. So here we'll give an example for it easier. You would usually use the word switch to like show a multi-state indicator per se, and then you can have a setting value. So here what we can do is it can point to an indirect register. When you press the push button, it would write stuff to the indirect register, or it would write a value to the register. So if I want, when you press it, I want 25, I can make it write 25. Or if I want it to basically copy whatever is in D10, it's going to copy whatever is in D10. Now the initial value, you can do like conditions and stuff if you want here too. Now these are some newer features that didn't exist in the old ones, but I mean you can use this to manage the push button more. Now the lamp is basically same like we had on the other one. You have a range, you have on off, or you have a key touch. So now if we go to the style, you have an on and off because it's a switch again. And then the text, you have the same option. You have text or comment. And then when you go to extended, you got the same stuff. And on the trigger, it's the same thing. So, and also one thing I said wrong, it's not like a multi-state indicator. I thought it was a lamp, so sorry about that. But that's how you would set up a word switch with constants if you want, or if you want to set up an indirect value. So we'll leave it to constant of 25. I forgot to name it, so we'll call it word switch. Now the other switches are pretty easy. A go to screen is a go to screen. You just have an option to go to a different screen. You can go to fixed. You can go to like overlaps or superimpose window or dialog window. You can go to back and previous, which the HMI manages it. Or you can go to a screen based on the device. So So it would switch the screen with whatever number is in the device D100 here. So, I mean, now keep in mind with the back and previous, sometimes what happens is if you reboot your GOT and you're on a screen which has a previous button only, it's gonna get stuck because GOT would lose the memory of where it was at before the power outage. So if you're trying to use previous only for your navigation, just keep that in mind. Now the lamps and stuff is the same. You have three options: key touch, bit, or word. For the screen switch, I usually leave it to key touch. I mean, you can change it to whatever you want. So here I'll make it go to screen, screen switch. That's what we'll name this. And yeah, I guess that's it for the screen switch. If you go to fix, yeah, you can pick it from the list, or you can do a browse and it would show all the screens that you have. Since we don't have anything, it's just showing one screen. Okay, now we're gonna look at the change station switch. What this one would do is you could change your station, and you could switch the project or change the screen type based on that. So yeah, I mean, outside of that, all these are the same. You have offsets and all that stuff. So I forgot, I'm gonna name that. Personally, I've never used this function. I mean, I would like to, but I really don't have an application where I can use it. Now the special function, this one is where you have a bunch of options here. You can go to utilities, do a bunch of GOT functions using this. You can click on get the security level screen open up the controller communication settings, open up a particular GOT function using that. And I mean, there is a lot of things here. This doesn't have any offset, if you see, because it's a function key. So you would just pick what function you want and you leave it there. I usually use the utility option the most. It takes you to the back end of the GOT. So I'm going to call that utility special function. Okay. Now, as far as the object goes, now we have the key window display. So this would basically open up a key window or a smaller window, keypad window, and you can specify the position for it. So when you press on it, it would give you a pop-up for a keypad. That's what it does. So, and we'll call it key window, and that should be it. And then in the last object, we have a key code. So this basically is a numeric key code switch. So you have options. You have a bunch of options. You can have a numeric alarm display, recipe, or a gesture or document display. As far as the number and character, this thing's in a hex. So if you type in 25, it would convert it to the number it would wants to. So yep. Or you have an action where you can do a bunch of conversions or do something else. These are more used for to create your own keypad. So you can go to ASCII and create an ASCII keypad. So if I do an A, it's gonna give me it's gonna put a 41 in there. So if I do that, we can call it A, and now you have made a string. And this would input to the text input or numeric input field that's active on that HMI, so or on that screen. So I guess that's it for all the objects under switch. We'll cover the rest of them as we go through in the upcoming lectures. Thank you.